Well now, hello there. Greetings and salutations, one and all. I hope you've had a reasonable week so far. Hump day, happy hump day, Humpty Dumpty sat on the wall, and anything else, humpback wow. I've got to hump. Road humps. Hump the bump. Anyway, enough of that. Yeah, happy Wednesday. Welcome to Wednesday Night Warlord. No Warlords present. Drop pods though. I've dropped 2. We do also have a Warhound, which I started painting the other day. There you go. So this is Ibn Farouk, which is the named Warhound for the Legio Furion. I would really like it if this camera could actually, do its thing and, focus. Don't know why. It has a very hard time with things. But yeah, so I painted this up the other day. I just thought, I had a Titan sitting there in pieces, and it's a scheme that I've wanted, I've done before, for dead Titans on the basis of Titans. So this is one of the ones I got from Ivy. It was partly built, had to change one of the weapons because although you can change weapons, I just thought I'm going to stick with the weapons it's got in the picture in the books. So if I get the book out. Sense. Let's look at the index, shall I? Well, that'll probably be easier to do. Leisure, 48. Well, typical. It's named Titan, they don't even have a picture of it in there. They have other ones, they have their War Master and a Warlord. So they have that dude and that dude. But no Ibn Farouk. So yeah. I did just look at it in pictures on the Google Images. So yeah, so Ibn Farouk was the named engine of legend for the traitors. It's got special skills, yeah, traits or whatever. So it gets bonuses for shooting bigger models than itself. So anything of a higher scale than 6, it gets a bonus to shooting them or something. I don't know. But I primarily wanted a Legio Furion's engine because in the original artwork, in the original sort of 88 release, and like Space Marine and stuff, the Legio Furions, Tiger's Eyes, there was a picture of them, and they were supporting Emperor's Children. And seeing as I'm doing Emperor's Children as one of my armies for Legions Imperialis, I thought, wow, it's a spare Warhound sitting there not doing much. So I thought, yeah, sorry, I'm doing Ibn Farouk. So that is Ibn Farouk. It matches my knife really well. And yeah, it was partly painted, and I've literally just gone over. It was like a bone colour with a bit of shading. So I've just gone over it with Vallejo game colour. Sun yellow, because I like this sun. I actually got this for when I was painting Castria, my Gundam. I can't remember. Pardon my French. I can't remember how to pronounce it. I've not said its name in ages. So yeah, and it gives me I wouldn't know which I'm talking about. Kshatriya, that's it. Kshatriya. Yay me! So it was one of the packs I got for that, for its yellow parts. So I thought, might as well make use of it. And then I went over it with some Imperial Fist as well, and Corvus Black for the they're all freehand, like all flames. So yeah, so I just done it all up, and I've got to do the base, so I might do that tonight. But we've got dreadnoughts are building. So these, my Emperor's children have a lot of dreadnoughts. So I thought it would only be right that they have some dreadnought drop pods. I need to get some more, not dreadnought drop pods. To be fair, I forgot I had these ones. I bought another box recently, so I might have to see if I can just say, can I swap these for something else? Because I could use some fire raptors for aerial support. I've got Xiphons, but you know, fire raptors are pretty handy close support wise. Decals. Thank you very much. And you are first, yes, Gizmo. How are you, buddy? You all good, I hope. I did post up on Twitter and Instagram that I was going live, purely to see who turns up. Because as I say, like normally we only have a few people in here, and I'm thinking like maybe I should actually do more. Because with streaming, like I can talk, but I do need that sort of interaction. Sorry, as I ducked off screen, because it helps me, you know, be a little bit more entertaining, if anything, you know. So let's get cracking with some drop pods. I've been continuing playing Space Marine. That's running, which is fun as always. Ooh, ow! Damn it. Sorry, I just stabbed myself with my clippers. So these, unlike normal drop pods, have 3 doors, and the other ones have 4, the infantry ones. But the Legion drop pods, which I have one for my Alpha Legion, scale wise is pretty accurate, to be honest. You know, you can literally fit a dreadnought in there, whereas you cannot fit 10 Marines into a drop pod. So that's a real thing. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Right, so these go. you don't glue these parts because obviously you want them to twist and turn. So I oh, hello. Hey young man, how the time walk go? Yeah, it was alright. I wasn't planning on actually walking. I was purely going to be down there as front of house, but I did take Iracundus with me, and as I was there, Aaron, who's a Legio Astorum Princeps, he's been to several walks, and I've always liked how he plays. So I even went as far and said he was my favourite Princeps, because he plays really well. And he can hold his own. So he said, "Look, I've got some knights here. If I drop them, will you come and like join in, sort of thing? Because I've not walked alongside you, so I would like to do that." So I went, "Okay." Something we can do. We can do. So yeah, that's what we do. What did I just do? So unfortunately, from what I learned from other people that were actually at there, like as exhibitors, that it might be the last one they have there, because they've apparently put the costs up quite a lot to hire the venue, like as in it's doubled. And yeah, so they're now looking for alternate areas in which to host the LGT, because it is a very popular event. There was several groups of people that are known within the hobby. I know Vanguard Tactics were there because all their people had t-shirts on with Vanguard Tactics, but there was several like gaming groups there. So yeah, there was a huge turnout for all the tables. There was also not only like 40k and AOS and Lord of the Rings and all that sort of stuff, but there was also Star Wars Armada, X-Wing was going on up on the like mezzanine type floor. So there was several thousand people on the venue, which was interesting because where the Titans were, we were on the top bend of the running track, because it was Lee Valley Athletics track, athletics centre. So they've got outdoor facilities and indoor facilities. So we were indoor, obviously, and we were on the top turn of the running track. So it is also sloped. So literally where we put our table sort of thing to put models on after battle and stuff, there was what is it? An incline, we shall say. But yeah, it went okay. I say I only fielded Iracundus. Only managed to get sort of 2 turns done, which, to be fair, um, we had objectives to undertake. So secret objectives, which was a new thing that we were doing to make the games a little bit more tactical. So my objective, I was told, was I had to take, not to say take control, but be in position around a central point where it was huge 3D printed tower, which I did post on my Instagram. The beast. So I had to be within 24 inches of that. So I did that in the first turn, and then second turn I charged into a warhound. Give it a kicking. Hurt it a little bit, not much though. But I was pretty much out in the breeze with my arse in the breeze. So it was no surprise. Well, it was a bit of a surprise to me because these other titans that were nearby, they'd been getting a lot of abuse, but they'd got shot with a quake cannon, which if you get hit by a quake cannon and your shields are down, then you turn. So this titan turned towards me, and its friend was nearby, and basically 2 warhounds together is quite devastating. They stripped the shields off. The first titan managed to strip all the shields, and then the second one just opened up with its plasma blast gun, which done a lot of damage, and then they just finished up. They got onto the last bit, and then yeah, it was mercilessly shot with Vulcan mega bolters. So Iracundus then rolled a wildfire, so it fired at a nearby enemy, which it done some damage, and basically that was it. So yes. So I did kill the warhound that I shot, that I'd beaten, because he moved it because he wanted to shoot at a weaker target. It also basically, in hindsight, I should have shot the ones that were facing me, because that one couldn't hurt me, those ones could, and I could have done something to them. So I should have done that. Woulda, shoulda, coulda. Didn't. So yeah, that was my Saturday. It was good to see the Princeps there. We were right between Duncan Road's 2 thin coats set up, so it was like a little display area, and then there was tables they had for painting, like doing little paint sessions with people. Duncan wasn't there on the Saturday, but he was there on the Sunday. My friend Rob and Phil both entered. Well, Phil entered a Titan. Rob entered his Acastus Asterius Knight, which is a big chunky thing. But Rob, who's on Instagram as Icon74, so EYECON 74, he has obviously in the past been in here as well. He won gold. He brought home the bacon. So yeah, and to be fair, he's got very awesome paint skills. So well done to Roberto. I just realised I might put a bottom bit on that. How's your week been going, buddy? And you, Gizmo? What have you been up to? There you go. That's one dreadnought drop pod. It's probably the easiest model kit I've built. Saw a pic of a tower on Facebook. Yeah, it looks so detailed. So you got my bottom handed to you with a bow on top. Pretty much, yeah. But that's the thing, when you've got one Titan, it is a lot harder, your survivability, purely because when you're using a mana pool of Titans, you use them to support each other. And basically, I had no support. The people I was with were doing what they were doing. They were trying to kill things, but what I needed was somebody else alongside me or near to me to basically give them food for thought. So yeah, they might have shot at him, but then again they shot at me, you know. But that's the thing, you've got to basically put that situation to your opposite number, force them to make decisions, because that's the thing, that's how you win battles, is getting people to have to think and give them choices. Not too bad, been housebound with illness. Oh, sorry to hear that, dude. But better med, so fingers crossed. Well, I hope you get well soon, dude. It's not good. Pardon me. It's yeah, it's always a bit of an arse when you're not well. It doesn't help that it's been bloody shifting temperature as well. Like the weekend, Saturday was really nice down in Ponder's End, because that's where the place is. And yeah, it was quite pleasant out, which they had numerous like food vans and stuff. There were about 8 or 9 different food vendors there that had set up. You know, there was like Greek food, there was Chinese, there was different sort of barbecue places, barbecue sandwiches. That's it. It weren't burgers or anything. It was barbecue sandwiches, noodles. Lebanese, I think, as well. So there was a whole host of flavours available, and yeah, and I was surprised how you know, obviously with the tournaments that are going on, they were like playing games and then botched onto the next one or whatever. How the hell they organised that, I don't know. There was so many bodies there that the whole, if you think of a running track, the whole of the inside of that and part of the right hand side of it had gaming tables on. So you had lots of gaming tables, 2 people per table, and there went the whole entirety, apart from our little bit at the end, which was probably around about a 20-foot section and a smidge maybe from one end. It was like immense, like the amount of people there. I haven't seen that many people because I haven't really been to like gaming events of that scale. You know, I've been to like Warhammer World when they're doing like Throne of Skulls or stuff like that. But yeah, it was bonkers, and I was really surprised like the amount of people that were there. But unlike other Titan walks, like we got some people coming over, but normally when we're at, say, like Beachhead, for example, you get a lot more people walking around because it's like a little exhibit. On Salute this year as well, we had hundreds of people coming around. Well, I say probably thousands to be fair. There was a lot of people there, and everybody saw us. So that was quite nice. But with LGT, it's all gamers, so most of the time they're all playing their games. So whilst it's a nice to have another little local type event, even though there were several people that came from up north. One of them, John, was from Sheffield. Laura and Richard, they come from Nottingham, sort of thing, and several others from like Bedford and all that sort of stuff. So yeah, it was an okay walk. I enjoyed it for the additional missions, because normally it's just like, oh, let's just shoot each other, which can get a little bit, you know, you want to do something with it, you know. But importantly, what happened is on the Saturday, the Loyalists won by 40 points to 20. So I did my part. I got the points on the table. I blew up a Titan, and yeah, it would have been nice. Well, to be fair, I was planning on leaving anyway because it was getting to about 5ish, and I thought, well, I've got to get home. So yeah, I don't like having my Titans get shot up, but it happened. Hey Dave, how are you, buddy? Food at the LGT was good last year. Expensive, yeah, it was like, to be fair, I don't know how much I paid. I think because I had like a lamb shish wrap, and I think that was $9.50, and I had some chips. And they were about $2.50. So yeah, but it was only card payment, so I don't know. I just tapped. I should probably check that. Sounds proper big event. Surprised it hasn't a purpose-built facility for events. Sounds like there's money in it. Well, you don't have these events that often. Like trying to have that event weekly would be really hard. You know, it's something that, you know, you're looking at a couple of months time leeway between events, sort of thing, because you've also got like staff to pay. You've also got other people turning up to, you know, do some sales or promotions and stuff like that, and it's just the organisation of it all. Like I remember a few years ago, there was actually at West Ham football stadium, or the London Stadium as it's known. They were like all on like the side bits and all that sort of thing. They weren't on the pitch. They were spread around. They were like the outside and of like where the people go for their lunches and stuff like that. So they have tried other venues, but yeah, so now the event is double the cost, and so it's not really viable. Right, I was part of the demonstrator, so I weren't actually, participate. So I don't know how much they paid for tickets for the games and whatever you. But there was a lot of people there. The gaps between games are pretty short. You only get around 15 minutes or so to finish up, move around, so it can be pretty full on. I played in the narrative campaigns, which were good. And that's alright. Well, that's what you want. You want to be like bang, bang, bang. You get 5 games in a day, or is it a weekend? It's a weekend event, isn't it? So, if, like, by my experience from the only event I've attended, which was the Legio Walks in 2020, before COVID turned up, that you we did 3 smaller. I've done a 1,000-point game first, and then 2 1,500-point games. And then on the Sunday, we done 2 2,000-point games. So it's 5 games overall. But yeah, you've got to have all your stuff sorted out. And obviously with Titans, it's easier because it's just like a tray. Yeah. So yeah, 5 games over the weekend, 3 on Saturday and 2 on Sunday. Apparently this year our walk area was smaller than last year by all accounts. I wasn't there last year, so I couldn't tell you, but it wasn't as big as it was, which didn't really matter. It was big enough for who was there. But yeah, it was alright. It was good. And so I've only done 2 walks this year. So I was at Beachhead, but I wasn't sorry, I wasn't allowed to play, really. So I said I was going, and they'd basically forgot me. So I thought, alright. So I was doing stuff with maximal fire, like I normally do. We normally do like a little Titan get together type thing. So I went off, done that, and then came back and chatted and hung out, sort of thing. But yeah, that was, I was at the walk but not participating in it. I've done Salute, so I can tick that off, which was, that was good. Thousands of people, lots of people that obviously I know was dropping by and all that, and some nice surprises as well. Went to see friend Tom, who I met at the Legio Walks event. So that was quite nice to see him. It was like I just saw him standing there looking at me from across. Oh shit. I just dropped a piece. Damn it. Which is going to be fun trying to find that little bastard. Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear, what have you done? It's not as if it's a really small piece, it's like teeny tiny. I I heard it hit the floor. Right. Oh, I'm too old for this. People tuning in like, where's the dude? What's going on? Random bit of plastic. Oh my lord. Doesn't help when you've got a flecky carpet because you can't see diddly squat. So at the moment you're getting a great old view, possibly of my head every now and again. Moving the radiator around. Always bringing the best content. Around a bit of plastic. Oh. I found it. Well, that was exciting, wasn't it? Oh, jeez. Jeez Louise. Right. So anyway, I don't know where I was, but I'm back again. The normal drop pods like to build. What they like to build, right? They're a little bit more fiddly by comparison, because you've got 4 doors, obviously a little bit smaller as well. This actually, like, this is so easy by comparison. So yeah, this is a dream because you've also got the central column bits you've got to do for the other bits. Next year I'm hoping to play either Legions, Imperialists or Foresight Heresy. Good evening, Arnold. First 2 Kratos are glued. Lovely kits, to be fair. Yeah, the Kratos is a lovely kit, big and small. They are really good to work with. Yeah, Arnold, you was coming over here, wasn't you? Because I was in Wayland Games, because I know you. Oh my god! I just dropped 2 of them. Oh my god! No! Why? Why do I do this? Why? Why? This is just not cricket, I tell you. Oh my god. ha! It went to the same place. Right. Yeah. So that's this Saturday. So basically, the actual gaming area and the food area is now closed because they are stripping it out. The store is still open, but they are, because I'm not sure if you're aware, they have got new facilities that they will be moving into, but that's not going to be open anytime soon. Because I was I popped in there the other day, because obviously I get notifications on chat groups and stuff. Yeah, it's basically like this is the last day for actually like gaming. We've got tables available and stuff, so the store will be open. Ollie is going to be there manning the desks, but it's basically the food areas now shut and they are stripping out main interest in the store. Okay, yeah, so they've got stuff in the store. They have taken a wall down, or they will be taking a wall down soon. So it's yeah, unfortunately, probably not going to be as good as it should, because as I said, they are stripping everything out for the move to the new area. But yeah, you say, at least you can say you've been there, and they do have a Pokestop if you're a Pokemon Go player. Right. So that's the second one done. I think you need a little receptacle to store the mini pieces whilst you build. It's not keeping them safe. It's when I'm actually putting them together is the problem, because that's when I've dropped them. That's when they decided to go, we're free! So, doors closed and doors open. Yeah, so you've got Wayland Games has got its own gym there. There is also one I like, because I like, I play Pokemon Go. So just opposite, there's a kiddies play area called Monkey Business, and I just like the idea. It's monkey business. So, but I won't be going there much often. They're closing it. They're closing it, which is a shame, because I was actually getting quite emotional when I was in there, because Dave will remember, because Dave used to come on these little gaming days that I used to organise for a Facebook group, a hobby group that I'd sort of set up with a few people. Dave was there as one of our admins, and I used to organise the meetups for gaming, and we used to go down there, and we actually used to, because the actual store is like late hours. It used to be open like from like 5 until 11 on Monday, Wednesdays and Fridays generally, and then Saturday, Sunday. But we used to go down there midweek on a Wednesday, and we used to leave. We had to like pre-do a deposit of £100, which Dave chipped in, because he said, I'm probably going to spend that anyway, because there's a deposit down there that you got back when you turned up. So it was basically make sure that there was a reason to have a member of staff to watch us. So literally the store was closed, but we had access to the gaming tables that we wanted, and we used to have these big apocalypse battles down there. And as I said, Dave spent more than £100, and then everyone else who was there was buying stuff as well. So in a way, they've earned money out of it, and they've helped a group of people that was gaming and stuff. Which I think at the time, Beast of War like Warren and Justin, Beast of War, were based out of Wayland Games. So they changed their studios from where they were in Northern Ireland, came and lived over here for a while, and was based there basically. And I always remember that we were playing this game. It was meant to be Imperials versus Chaos, because the Chaos Codex had come out at the start of the year, and all the Chaos players were going, "Yeah, we got awesome stuff," and a lot of people going, "Yeah, we should do like Chaos go on against the Loyalists." And we're like, "Okay, we'll do a game day. We'll arrange this. We'll do, you know, you bring like a couple of thousand points. We'll do an apocalypse, big battle sort of thing, and we'll have Loyalists versus traitors." Loyalists versus Chaos. No Chaos players turned up. So we had several Space Marine chapters, Imperial Guard regiments, we had Necrons, we had Eldar, and we had Tyranids. So it ended up that one side was, you know, majority was like, it was my mate Mike and his Masalai Rangers Imperial Guard, and then there was Dave's Blood Angels, there was Richard's Dark Angels, there was my Raptors on one side, and on the other side you had Pygmy with his Tyranids, you had Lee with his Eldar, you had Darren with his Necrons, and you had Will with 1,500 points of Catachans on the other side. So he got, like, purely by where we put our stuff down to take photographs, and opposite me was 1,500 points of Catachans, and I had, like, you know, good 2,500 points, maybe even 3,000 points of Raptors, plus I had a Bane Blade and a Shadow Sword sort of thing. I couldn't kill them. They went to ground, and with their Cameline cloaks, they had a 2+ invulnerable save, or 2+ cover save. So shooting them with, like, you know, mega lasers and stuff, and they're like, "Yep, made that." And it's like, I literally spent 2 turns shooting at them and didn't kill anyone. I think I might have took like one casualty off of them, and I thought, I am being so wasted here. So I decided, right, so I'm going to send my tanks down that way. We're moving down the board. And it was at this point that no, he didn't turn up. The Blood Pack was later. That was the big one we did when Mark turned up. Hey Sip, hello buddy, how are you? You painting orcs tonight, I'm assuming. Yeah, no, Steve weren't there for that one. For I don't know why reasons, but yeah. So Richard had gone off to get a drink or go to the toilet or something like that, and I'm looking over, and Darren going, why don't you shoot down here? Because, like, he's in a bit of trouble where he gets my neck runs. You know, why don't you help him out and just shoot this dude here with your big guns and your bane blade and all that sort of stuff? And I thought, yeah, that's a great idea. And I fired, and I missed. And when you miss, you scatter. And the scatter on the large template went backwards towards the firer, but not that far, because it literally stopped on top of a Dark Angels Land Raider and some bikes and a speeder, I think. The one where you dropped a pie plate on Richard's Dark Angels. That's the one, yeah. And, like, that's what I've done. It was at this point, like, Darren's laughing his arse off. I said, I can't believe you did it. I was only like mucking about. And I said, it seemed like a good idea. I don't know why I did it either. Because regret is a big thing in this game. And I was regretting my actions. And then Richard's come along, and I went, you'll laugh about this in the morning. He's gone, what have you done? I went, those guys over there I've just accidentally hit with what? And I went, Baneblade? And it's big gun. And he's like, you got to do some jinx saves. I'm really sorry, Richard. Whoops. And yeah, he survived. He took a bit of damage on, I think, the Land Raider, but he survived. And he's like, I'm having a hard enough time with the Necrons as it is without my own side shooting me. I said, it was an accident. He's used some sort of brain powers and convinced me it was a good idea. And then it became a whole meme thing where I actually done. I got a picture of the Tsar Bomber explosion, which was the world's largest nuclear detonation that the Russians did, the Tsar Bomber, and I wrote across it, "Sorry, Richard." And another one, whoopsie. But yeah, so that was an interesting game. You know, it was meant to be loyalists against Chaos Marines, and not one Chaos Marine turned up. The Blood Pack did turn up eventually at the biggest one we done, and that was the first one that Iracundus actually walked in. So Iracundus, my Reaver Titan, with some Mechanicum units that I had. And facing off against 10,000 points of Iron Warriors. And on my flank, I had my friend Mark had come down from Edinburgh to participate, and he brought his list, which was he'd come down on the premise that he was going to be facing me, but again, because of team sides and people not turning up, he ended up that he'd be on our side. So he was on my left flank, and he just went storming into this like tank battalion that my friend Simon had, you know, and literally just went into close combat first turn with like fire dragons and stuff, just melting the crap out of things. And Iracundus almost got hurt. Well, he did get hurt. He basically took a lot of firepower to take down his void shields, and then once the void shields had gone, Lee and his Scorpion super heavy grav tank deep struck opposite me because he wanted to kill a Reaver Titan. So he fired his pulsars or whatever cannon that thing had, and literally chewed me a new one. He dropped me down to about 2 hull points because I think I had like 18 hull points, and all the fire that came in put it down to about I think maybe 2 or 3. It was like really bad for one salvo from that thing, and I thought thick. So obviously I couldn't let that thing live, and thus I had a Thunderhawk. No, the Thunderhawk actually killed. He turned. Iracundus had to blow it up. Yeah, Iracundus killed that. My Thunderhawk killed the Iron Warrior war boss or whatever it's called, war leader dude, who was in his personalised Land Raider with his command thingy, and I basically shot it through an open door. That's the story, with the turbo laser that the thing had, that the Thunderhawk had, and blew it up. So yeah, Iracundus survived a very scary moment, and And that was also the bit where, because yes, Steve had his blood pack, so his blood pack, based on Dan Abnett's Gaunt's Ghosts thing, were going across this field, which, because they're blood pack, we called it a cornfield. And it was just at one moment I just looked over and I saw what was going on at that table, because I think we had, the tables were 6 foot across because we were going multiple tables up. So I think we went, I think it was about 20 foot, because there were 4 foot that way, 6 foot across that way. 20 foot by 6 foot was the game space we had, with all these like mini, forces at work there, fighting against each other. And I looked over and I saw that these guys were going across the cornfields, and I just pulled my tape measure out and I just went woo, and I gone, how far's that? And it was about 10 feet. And I went, I can hit it. And so Iracundus fired its APOC launchers at the cornfield and absolutely toasted all these Imperial Guard, like blood pack Imperial Guard troops that were going across, like couple of squads. Have you got old pictures? Yeah, I've got some. I only took a couple. So the one, I think I've got Iracunda standing on the battlefield, facing off over with the Iron Warriors. And I know, like, Pete Woods posted up some. They're about. I'm sure I'll be able to find them. Unless you took any. I don't know. There was actually another incident that happened at one of these meets, which Dave will know about, which was my Tau versus Pygmies Tyranids. It's like 2,500 points, I think the game was. Yeah, friendly game, but it was like, there was a lot of like bragging rights sort of thing, and I was getting a lot of like, oh yeah, I can do you and all that sort of thing from Pygmy, because I'm not one of those people that go, oh yeah, I'm going to absolutely ruin you and all that sort of stuff. I'm more quietly confident, and I go, okay, we will see, because I have confidence in myself to win every battle. So I asked him, I said, look, as it's a friendly game, would it be okay if I fielded all of my Riptides? Which I had 3 Riptides and the Ford World Riptide, the Arvana and the Yavari sort of thing. And he's going, yeah, it won't matter, I'm going to do you and all that sort of stuff. So, anyway, we set up, the mission is that it's longboard, so we're going a 6 foot way, 5 objectives placed, and so we get going. I have basically these Riptides, and I have 1 Hammerhead with long strike sitting in it, and then I have Devilfish with SMS launchers on, because I always liked the ability to have the SMS missiles over burst cannons. They're the same strength, 5 AP5 back in the day, sort of thing. But I just like them more than burst cannons. Plus, they you didn't need line of sight for them, and I thought that could be handy with like buildings and stuff. So each of my, I had infantry going around, pathfinders, devilfish, and I think 3 squads of fire warriors with devilfish sort of thing. Now, on Pygmy side, he had 60 gaunts. So I think there were either 30 termagaunts and 30 hormogaunts. There was definitely shooty ones in there. But he had this massive blob of gaunts. He also had like Tyranids. He had Herugil, flying tyrants. He had these big things as well, and these other big things. And one of these things, I think it might have been a lictor or something like that, that its abilities gave all those gaunts a 4+ cover save in the open because of this like shadowy psychic bullshit sort of thing. It wasn't a zoanthrope, I know that much. It was something like a lictor or something, I don't know. So this huge blob of gaunts who normally have a 6+ save had a 4+ cover save. So I'm firing Riptides with their like strength 9 AP2 template sort of thing. Yep, save. Took very little damage from that. What turned the battle was the SMS. So all my devilfish and Riptides all had SMS, and they're homing, and they are no cover save. So strength 5, AP 5, going into something that is strength 3, I think gaunts were, something like that. So I'm wounding them at least 2s, or 3s, I think. I'm wounding them on 3s. I think it was, something like that. And they've got no save. So all that fire from the devilfish and the Riptides and all that sort of stuff took, a heavy chunk of gaunts out, So all he's saying is like, oh, that's so broken, that's fucking broken, that's so broken, that's so broken, that's fucking broken. That is, oh, that's bullshit, oh, that's broken, all that. No cover save, no line of sight, sort of thing. And I'm like, but you've got gaunts in the open with a 4+ cover save, and there's a huge blob. What the hell am I meant to do? It gets to his second turn, so I've shot him again and stuff, and he just goes, no, that's it, no, that's it, I've had enough, that's it, I'm calling it. And I honestly thought he was going to table flip. If it wasn't for the fact that he had, like, his painting skills are fucking awesome, and his knits were gorgeous beyond belief. It took him longer to set up than we actually played, sort of thing. I think I took out one of his big, like, birthing dudes stuff. He had one in reserve, which was like a big birthing monstrosity, and he said, I'm not even going to bring that on, that's it, I've had enough, sort of thing. And I felt so bad, I went and bought him, like, a chocolate bar and like a cup of tea, because I felt really bad for him, because, like, he's had a shitty time of it. But looking back at it, it's like, well, I'm not min-maxing or anything like that. And I've asked him, and it wasn't the big guns on the Arvanas and the Riptides, the ones that would normally, tanks. Oh yeah, you're in shit street now. It was the SMS, because he didn't get a cover save for his massive blob of dudes. Because when he threw the game in, out of 5 objectives, I had 1, and I had a contested one because my Pathfinders had a scout move, and they'd got onto that in the first turn, but he had units that were in close proximity. I'd taken some, I'd 1 devilfish had been taken out by the flying tyrant that just swept down and went bash. If he had played his turn, that hive tyrant would have been against one of my my Ivana or long strike, and it would have ripped him a new one. He had 3 objectives under his control, and he still had a lot of models on the table, but he basically called it, and I went okay, because it's like, yeah, in that situation I knew that if he continued playing, I was gonna die. I would have died. I would have stripped out some more gaunts and other gribblies and all that sort of stuff, but yeah, he just basically just table flipped, as I said, in his turn without even going into his turn proper. So yeah, it was like, okay. Whew, it was emotional. Hey Mouse, how are you, buddy? Never saw him on one side again. But that's the thing, it wasn't the big nasty guns, and he's like, oh, you got 4 riptides, but it weren't the riptides themselves, it was just SMS. So even if I had like they have now like little SMS like infantry pods, if I had 3 of them with my infantry units, and then I've got my tank, my devilfish. Devilfish has got a burst cannon and an SMS system, so it's only 4 shots, twin linked sort of thing. So it's not massive amounts of firepower. It's just that it didn't need line of sight, and you got no cover save for it. So yeah, that's me being a dick. But I don't think I was a dick. But it's always mentioned that oh yeah, you had riptides, and it wasn't the riptides, it was the SMS, because I liked SMS. SMS cool. I still had to pay for them. It's like they don't come as standard. You have to pay for the upgrade, and it's it's against a horde army. Yeah, it's a good weapon to have. But yeah, I actually sent that into Louise on Rogue Hobbies when they was asking about am I the arsehole? So it never got read out, but I sent it in because it's just one of those things. Kind of reminds, in a way, that that old thing about wheels in some competition where he had like white scars and they just come on all from reserve, and the guy had the crew conga line, and he deployed them all along his opponent's deployment zone line, and because of that they couldn't come onto the board because there was some sort of thing, so he lost because he was like literally coming on first turn reserves, flying on, and because you don't know who you're up against, he could basically go, all right, this unit's coming on here, that unit's there, and basically just whiz across and annihilate and then mop up the rest, sort of thing. So he was like doing that, and this one guy just went, okay, I'll put each of my crew with their infiltration at maximum spacing all along that opponent's thing. So the rules as read is that you can't get onto the board. So he won. Nothing like that really, but Right. Let's get this fella together. So these have gone together rather quickly. Were you working on mouse? You up to anything interesting? Nice. Ah. What? Ooh. Well, it looks pretty cool. If only my camera could glowing. Zoom in. Yeah, that's definitely coming along quite nice. It's quite nice. Is that Hulk Shroud, Cold Shroud? You doing them? Actually, let's so there's a little dude. Yay! I'm deployed. Class. I don't know where I put my. Well, they're over there somewhere. So these are all the dreadnoughts and support weapons that I painted the other week. Not that you can see it, but yeah, they're there. Quad cannons and Helios, tarantulas, rapiers. So that's basically 2 boxes worth of Legion support. So I've actually got 2 lots of that. So plenty of guys to be getting on with, formation wise. Drop pods. Let's have a look, see if we can find them. Aha! So, if I can get into the bloody thing. So, there's your infantry drop pod. Oh yeah, sorry, 5. You got the 5 door, and then you got the 3 door. But that's what you're dealing with. So size-wise, so you get so 4 of these in one box. You get 4 of them in another box. So that's most of my heavier tanks. So we've got, what is it, 4 Spartans, 6 Land Raider Proteus, 3 Xiphons, 4 drop pods, 4 Krytos there. And we've got your Predators and Sicarans. So 6 of these, 6 Sicarans with both autocannon or plasma options. So that's nice. So it's a nice amount of armour. And then, as I said, I've got a load more bits and pieces here. So they've got quite a lot of dreadnoughts. So 2 lots of the support things there. So yeah, it's got quite hefty things. As I say, like you've got 1 more of these to be built, which we'll do now. But that's the difference in size that we're dealing with. So if I put I've also got contemptors, little contemptor dudes. Oh, I've got that to do actually as well. So I've got so that should deploy 2 squad, well, 2 bases. That will deploy 1 base. Don't fit. I've still got 1 sprue of Emperor's Children to do, which kind of rhymes. So you've got, that's 2 sprues in there and 1 sprue in there. So I've just got the last sprue to put together. I haven't put the Emperor's Children together as yet. I did do a picture of my Imperial Fists, because they were the first ones I'd done ages ago. Like when they first came out, I knocked through them quite quickly. But I've still got some more stuff to put together. So this was something that was sort of, it was donated with the stuff that Ivy gave me. So Storm Eagle, which is handy because I've got no other aerial transports for these guys as of yet. So it's whether or not I go a box of these or Fire Raptors for close support, because I've got three Xiphons, which should be enough, really, he says. But let's get this last one built. Hey Edvin. Nearly finished. 4th World Night preferring Hawkshroud. The Night Lance that escorting the Ignitum Warlord. Nice. What are you up to tonight, Edvin? Nice to see you, dude. Always a pleasure, never a chore. So I'm really pleased with. So you don't realise like how much you actually do with these things. How you just sort of just plough on through, getting them done, and then next minute, like these drop pods. Again, if I wasn't talking as much, these would already be built. And that's the thing, it's like sometimes you just, I admit I have been a little bit sort of meh, I think is the general term, for the last couple of months really. I've not been in, I've done modelling and stuff, you know, I've been building and painting and all that, but nothing to the extent I would normally be. As I said, I don't know if it's like seasonal adjustment disorder or basically just, you know, just general meh. So at least I'm doing something, is what I'm thinking. And it's actually like having you guys here as well to chat with. That's always helpful. You know, hobby does make a big difference to everyone's mental health and general emotional well-being. I'm catching myself. I've really got to sort this beard out. Which way is that going? Because I'm seeing myself in reverse. So yeah, I've got to sort that out. Other LI stuff that I have, I know I've got some rhinos, which should be for these guys as well. I've also got speeders. Speeders box out there. And I actually have another box of infantry. So yeah, so box of rhinos, box of infantry, box of speeders. There is another box of these, but as I said, those I've got to try and see if I can swap them, if at all possible, because they're surplus to requirement. Do I need to have 8? I don't think I do. I don't know. I'll have a look at the rule book and I don't know with all the formations and all that. Or I could field them as the Palisade ones, actually, thinking about it. Because you have the Palisade, which are basically like shield generators. So I can have 4 normal drop pods and then 4 Palisades. Because they just give you like a shielded area, I believe. They're like the atomic per face. that the radio used to have available. It's like with the normal drop pods, you can have them with the which I have only 4 of. You can have them with the Death Wind launchers. So not even got troops in, they just basically just drop pods drop in and they have rockets that come flying out. Right, so that's that one. Painting trim on a Roxy's, that's a chore. Well, everybody complains about the trim. But as I've mentioned before, I'm actually banned from moaning about paint and trim by Specialist Games team, because the amount of trim that I've painted, I have no right to complain. I've done it myself. So, yeah. Let's get my refreshments sorted out. A little fridge. So a nice copper bag, which is strawberry and lime cider. Well, with cider with strawberry and lime. Painting 31 AWPs in 31 days is also a chore. Yeah, but you're good at it though, Sip. You did it last year. You can do it again. A man knows his orc. Right, let's be careful, shall we, with the placement. Didn't do any hobby last month, just trying to give myself the motivation to hit the ground running. Yeah. Sounds good to me, buddy. And you say it's something that you enjoy. Your orcs, you do love your orcs, and they are rather fetching. It's like this is your time to shine, dude. All Sips Day, or All Sips Month. October 1st to 31st is All Sips Month. There you go. Nice. You did you pop down to Wayland before you get any last games in at all? Yeah, so that game when I was talking about earlier on, where we'd hired out Wayland, sort of thing, and Beast of War were there. This is how long ago that was. Beast of War were there, and they came to a table that was like at the end of our row, sort of thing. There was a table set up with this. They'd made the trench run on Death Star, basically, 3D trench run, sort of thing. And they were playing this new game that was coming out called X-Wing. So they were just getting a guy, like having a demo game with one of the guys in there, and so they're playing that there. So we're like looking over, seeing what they're doing, sort of thing, because Beasts of War were those like Warren and Justin or so, and just playing cool. And I always like to have a pint with my gaming. So I'd have one pint during the day, and then eat and all that sort of thing, and so it's still safe to drive. And I put my pint on the table, and as they're talking and all that, and he's going, but the thing I want to really know is what is that pint doing over there? And I just turned around to him and went, I think it's deep striking. But yeah, it was glorious days. And so that was from like the early days when they were there. To be honest, back then they did also used to have this. They used to give like access to this gaming group, who would be there on days that they weren't open to play games, sort of thing. But as part of the payment was that they'd make boards that the store could actually use, and they had some of the best thematic boards I have ever seen. And Dave, if he's still about, Dave, he will back that up, because we did take some pictures of our models on one of them in particular, but the boards there were just fantastic. So much detail to them as well. Like I remember one of them, which was like a Second World War, like Russian Eastern Front sort of village, and like you've got these like bombed out buildings and stuff, and you could go up to these buildings, and you could take off the top section, and there's like basement to it, sort of thing. So like if you're doing like house clearance, you can go into the top 2 floors, but then you can take it off, and then you've got the bottom floor there as well, like the basement floor. And it was so well made, and they looked amazing. Like so, it had like bolt action and Flames of War, all that jazz. They had sort of like one of them, which was this massive sort of like had water featured there, where you had like a galleon on it, sort of thing. So it's like 16th, 17th century high seas port sort of thing, with all the streets and stuff, and there was a big hill, so it was like a Jamaican island sort of thing. It was beautiful. Unfortunately, the gaming group and Wayland had a disagreement over an incident that happened, and then they said, "All right, we'll go then," which, from what I understood, is like, because there was, some shenanigans, not shenanigans, but basically things were going missing, because obviously, they're in there and things were going missing, and they went, right, no, all right, we're not going to be here anymore. You're accusing us of doing this, and we're not going to be here. But yeah, so they left and took all their stuff because it was their stuff. There was part of the thing. They got to play there. They had a site. They weren't paying like any like rent or anything, and they had access to a gaming hall. And they could, go in there, have their games on their really awesome feature boards and stuff. And yeah, one person took advantage, and then they doubled down and backed them and decided, oh, we aren't going to be here anymore. So, shame. And then all the boards went a little bit. There was a couple of boards that my friend Brian Jenkins, aka Templar's Crusader 01, back when he used to do YouTube and stuff, they actually got him to build some boards for them, so like 40k urban war boards and stuff, which I played on one of them. It was really cool. It had like little LED fires in like burnt out tanks and stuff, and craft that have crashed into buildings and all that sort of thing. So it was really well done. And he also, I think he done the Zone Mortalis stuff for him. So that was cool. Right. So that's 4. Will you stop it? 4 little petals of doom. All built quite nice. Quite lovely. Alright, let's where are we? I was down there Saturday just to catch up with a few people. Yeah, as I said, I popped in there. It was Monday night. Had a chat with Ollie and Lydia there. And yeah, so I say like sayonara, dudes. But yeah, it's to say, it's just they're not sure when the new place is going to be open. So some point between now and Christmas is what they're hoping. But as I said, the shop will be open until they're not allowed to be open anymore, basically. And so the new site, which is about 5 minutes from the M25, so it's, if you're driving, really easy to get to. Either way, really, because if you're going down there, because they normally open sort of from 5 p.m, the gaming halls, till about 10:30, and I think is the newer times. So if you're coming from Southend, you're going against the traffic, so it should be fairly easy to get to. And from elsewhere, M25, as I say, you just junction 29, come off there. As you come to the halfway house turn off, you just turn off there, turn right, and then take the first right onto the site. I think a well-made board can completely change the gaming experience. Love playing on a setup that someone has taken a bit of time on. Yeah, no, absolutely. Wayland's have a couple of really nice boards not so long ago. Llama and I played on a really cool Orc setup. It was made for a fun game. Would be nice to see a few better boards with the new place opens. Yeah, they've got some scenery stuff. They obviously with certain things like Dystopian Wars and obviously Armoured Clash, they've got their own scenery stuff that they can do, but it's getting people to actually build and paint it. So if they do that, they're laughing. Because it's the same with everything. Like all the gaming boards in Games Workshop stores were done by the staff that were there. They're not shipped in. Whoever works there paints them, builds them and stuff. So yeah, it's a case of getting some people to actually go, right, let's get some stuff done. They've got some basic stuff. They need some some really awesome bits and pieces. Then there's some more stuff on Dystopian Wars. I said, it's only a board, like a blue map, like water map, but still, having some like island features and stuff like that. They've got some, as long as you're not doing like a massive game like we have been doing, but definitely need a bit more done, I feel. And once they've got that, they're laughing, because say it was chock-a-block on Monday. I know last day and all that sort of stuff, but people like to have places to congregate and play games, and that's what it's all about at the end of the day. It's a social thing. Right, well, step outside into the dark a moment, so bear with. Give it another go. I know they've said there will be a larger gaming space. It probably will just be basic setups when they open. Yeah, but you'd want to Element up in Birmingham had because they've opened a new store in Birmingham. So what's that? They've got 3 now. So they've got Nottingham. They've got a store. Birmingham and Manchester or something like that, or outskirts of Stockport maybe. Or was it Preston? So they might have actually 4 stores now, which, let's have a look. Element Games. Yeah, so they've got 4 now. So they've got Stockport, Nottingham, Sheffield, and now Birmingham as of last weekend. So that's not bad going. Yeah, so I was just checking. So, what was I saying? Yeah, so Element, 4 stores now. Wayland, 1 store. Gaming side of things as well. But then they're producing games. So they're a games producer as well as a games store, retailer, online retailer. So yeah, it's crazy how these guys are, going about things. Like Dark Sphere. They've got their, what do they call it? Their mega store, which is in a basement in Shepherd's Bush. It's fair size, to be fair, but I've been down there twice in this year, to be honest. So I don't know. It's like you have been spoiled a bit from like going up to Warhammer World. You get spoiled going up there, and then you think that's the benchmark, really. Like you expect them to have, if they've got a dedicated gaming space, that is kind of cool. You've got the tables, you've got stuff. It's like Bad Moon Cafe down in London. I played there a few times over the last couple of years. I think they've got about 15 tables there, but you have to pay for them. So you're paying sort of 15 quid for about 3-4 hours, which if you're playing a big game, that's about right, really. 2 and a bit hours, faffing about, chatting, checking up on rules, having drinks and toilet breaks. But that's like the nearest train station's a bit of a whig there. Driving into London is, fun at the best of times, but it's parking, because obviously, you've got to find somewhere to park that's close to the place, but you don't want to be parking like miles away and walking to the thing. But no, it would be nice to have a venue that's easy to get to. Transport, like Wayland, you did have a train station which was about 7-minute walk. Literally, you come out of the train station, walk down to the first turning on the right, turn right, follow it round, and you're there, sort of thing. So that's not bad, really. But anything, if you've got like a 20-minute walk from a train station, that's, and you're carrying bags and boxes and stuff. It would be nice just to have a nice venue somewhere, good transportation links. But again, you've got to double up. You've got to have, ideally, you've got to have floor space for selling stuff, and gaming, you've also got to have like a cafe element as well, because that's what you expect nowadays. Like one of the nicest places I've actually been to recently is down in Brighton, Dice Saloon, which is like a converted church. It really is. It looks like something out of the Wild West as well. They've all painted the front of it and all that sort of stuff. So the front section is the store. You walk in, and there's a store. It goes the whole across the width of the building. It's only probably around about 4 meters across by about 10 to 15 meters across, sort of thing. So you've got this little bit that goes into the back part, which is like where the congregation would be. And there they've got a little cafe bit in there. You've got these side tables for people playing card games, and then you've got some sort of set up tables in the middle of the hall, where I think you could probably get around about, again, probably around about 16 tables, like 6x4 tables there, so like 4 banks of 4 or whatever. But they alternate. Sometimes they'll have like little painting sessions, intro painting classes and all that. And then at the back, they've got some more tables, but it's a totally different aesthetic there because it's all card games sort of stuff. So you've got card gaming dealer type thing. They've got a little stall there where you can buy, like, you know, Pokemon cards, Magic cards, and all that sort of stuff. Is out the back. They've got these 2 little rooms as well, like private gaming rooms, which is again pretty cool. You know, just go in there, close the door, and that's pretty awesome. But it's a really nice setup. Again, you had to pay for the tables, so it was about $12.50, and for the table, I think. Well, that might have been actually the private room you had to pay for. I'm not sure, but yeah. Again, Brighton from like Essex isn't that hard to get to. It's only like an hour and a half drive to get to Brighton. Yeah, if the M25 is behaving itself, so the bridge in Clackett Lane, but if that road, like a weekend going down to Brighton, is an hour and a half, so easy to get to. Parking is about, I'd say it was 100 meters away. You have to cross the road, and there's a little side road opposite. You walk down that, and that's where the parking, multi-story parking is. So you've got that. There's pubs along the shops there, other eateries as well. So lots to be getting on with, and plus, you know, you can go for a walk down to the beach, down to the seafront. You know, see the sights, smell the birdshit. And everything else for that matter. We'll do 2 at a time. So just right. Righty. Boobershaka. There's good old Corvus Black. Hey, Plato Pinto, how are you? What you got going on? Yes. All finished for today. Got to go get a photo done. Thanks for the company whilst I've been hopping away. Catch you later, fella. Yep, see you later, dude. And look forward to checking out your latest addition to your orc horde. All done with life stuff today. Now I'm taking it easy and building my Imperial Fists, Warlord Titan, Vengeance Ascendant. Cool name. I can heartily recommend any Titan that has Vengeance in the title. I think my Warlord is Templar's Vengeance, which I also have on one of its gun shields, where its volcano cannon actually has the Imperial Fists chapter or legion symbol on it, because it served with distinction during the Siege of Terror. And the Imperial Fists honoured it with allowing it to display their iconography. But as some people may not know, Imperial Fists were a Titan Legion, not as well as an Space Marine Legion. It was a Titan Legion as well. Blue and yellow iconography. I think some checkers were involved as well. Back from like Codex Titanicus days. And it had the mailed fist as its Legio symbol as well. Blue and orange mainly, there you go. The only Titan Legio which also has the name of a Space Marine Legion. Although saying that, there's a good chance that they were Imperial Fists before the Imperial Fists. Because Titan Legios had been around since the Dark Age of technology. From about M24 to 25. Imperial Night Houses have been around since the 15,000s, so they are older than Titan Legios. And they were the first bipedal war machines to go out amongst the stars and to help defend colonies. And then obviously later on they got bigger with Titans being developed. The heads and knee armour are orange, the rest is deep blue with a dark grey borderline black trim. Well, blue and orange is my favourite colour combination, so I approve of this colour. I'll try to paint the head later. I'll pop it on the screen. Cool. I'll check it out once you get it on there. I was thinking about it. It's like the other day. It's like Emperor's Children. I've got, as I said, now I've got this purely dedicated Titan to run around with them in Legio Imperialis, with the Furians, and obviously drop pods. And most people are saying, but why, Lee, why are you painting them in a dark grey, blacky colour? It's because in the old original fluff, their vehicles were painted this colour because they ran out of purple paint. It's like if you look at the in the Forge World books themselves, like you'll see guys with like the odd plate in like just like pre-painted metallic grey colour because they didn't have enough purple paint. But it just seems weird. Why they got, like, you know, they might have a helmet that's grey, or it's like shoulder pads. It's got a silver sort of grey colour to it. Why is that? So they were running out of purple. That's all it is. Hard colour to do, purple. Evening, sorry I'm late, not been great. Oh, sorry. You probably, you know, you had a very long day, and you had a very long day yesterday as well. Hello, Francois. Salute to you too. But yeah, Luke, you need to rest, dude, as best you can. So I honestly, I didn't expect you to come down and visit today at work. So it's lovely, but you got to think of your health. So I've been telling you off. No, it was lovely actually to see you, mate. My boy, coming down to visit. Hung out for a little while in a very busy store, but it didn't get any easier not until later on, and that second measure that I found out I had, I didn't get to that until about 3:30. Thanks for the company. I'm off to bed. Hey, it's my night, mate. I hope that your visits to England and obviously everywhere else that you are going to pay a visit to goes wonderfully and smoothly. And I say, enjoy, have fun, and hope to hear your adventures once you return. Yeah, well, it was on the other side of Harlow as well. So I just said to I said to him, I said like, I'm going to go measure this. It's on the other side of Harlow. I'm not coming back. And I said you can go early tomorrow. So, and to be fair, he left early to get there early because of all the well, you know, the carpets. I saw some picture of Discord. So if you're like, yeah, go for it, buddy. Do that on your epic trip to England and Whaling Games. Yeah, so measured it. I've got another measure to do on the way in tomorrow, but it is so, you know, we got to a point where we were sort of saying to people, so like you can measure, you know, it's not hard sort of thing, but you do get some people that they really don't trust themselves. Oh no, I don't want to do it wrong and all that sort of stuff. So you go, all right, we're gonna have to, if we want this order, we're gonna have to come out and measure. So we go out and measure. That one I done, I was late in this morning. They booked. Ibn Farouk, that's great. Thank you very much. He, as I said, I didn't really, when I was painting him, I was hanging out with friends like online, and you're just chatting, and you know, like you're just chatting, and I'm just thinking, I didn't really pay attention to what I was doing, and that's how it turned out. So it was it worked out in the end. It was just leave it at that, really. Do you charge to measure? No, we don't. The only thing that we ask is that you come in and make a selection of what you would like, because then we know what we're working out on, and if you've chosen something, then at least we can go, that's how much that carpet's going to come to, and if that's sort of what you were looking at, sort of like price wise, then you go, okay, I'll place the order. But so that one I measured this afternoon was literally like following me around. His little baby daughter was, let's say, like she was a toddler, must be, well, maybe about 4, and she's like, oh, what are you doing here, sort of thing, and like, you know, coming, hanging out and getting in the way. Literally, like I'm trying to measure the stairs, and they're like getting right up close and like virtually holding on to my leg, and it's like, not too sure about this. Could you get your child to walk away, please? But yeah, and they were like going, oh, how many square meters is that? And that's the thing. It's like they're having us come round and then asking us what the sizes are, and we don't give the sizes, because at the end of the day, other places charge for that service. We don't, and this is our own time, petrol, to come out and measure up. You know, normally we just say to people, look, all you need to do is measure the landing, you know, longest and widest, and then if you want to take some pictures of the stairs and show us how they're set out, they're pretty standard. We can work out what you need. But some people go, oh no, oh, I don't know, I wouldn't do it right, and so you've got to go out and measure. But you know, I had someone the other week where I've measured up. I spent ages around it because it was a big house, and he was sort of like, "Oh, could I take a picture of that?" I went, "Well, that's a little bit unfair, you know, because same thing. It's like I've come out to you to do a quotation for what you like, for what you've chosen, sort of thing, but you hadn't chosen anything at the time. So I've come out to measure up, whereas other people charge. So if I let you take them, you know, you can go elsewhere and go, these are the sizes, and we don't get the business. So we're at a loss. And you're like, oh no, I understand that. So, and they actually came out back and booked You know, I got on quite well with them, and they came and booked, and that was £5.5 order. Needed to do some more work with them for what they're trying to do. They're trying to get their price as low as possible because they've been like a whole, like they've had an extension project which they've basically doubled the size of their house. So it's like 200 odd square meters. But yeah, you know, it's not really fair on us because we're not, you know, we're an independently owned franchise. So, you know, we'll come out and do what we can, get the job done properly, but we've got to protect our own interests. We're not going to come around and measure up for other companies, you know, because other companies, they might not measure properly in that they just square off stuff, and so there's more meterage. So because we're going very keen and tight, we're generally cheaper. You know, it's only if some like other companies who may have like a special promotion. You know, if they've got deals from the supplier saying like, "Oh, we'll supply you at this price," sort of thing, for a period, then yeah, if they're getting like those sort of deals, then there's not a lot we can do because they're getting a much better supply price, so they can do it cheaper. But you know, most of the time that's not an issue. Ibn Farouk is Nasty Warlord Hunter. His ability grants him the Legio war gear. You pay 20 points premium anyway, but the rest is free, and he can still join a squadron. On top of that, you add 2 to armor rolls against Titan Scale 10 or larger, with Strength 8, Strength 8 weapon, and the Princess trait from the Legio. Ibn Farouk is going to be seriously damaging anything in that game. It's surprising that you aren't paying anything extra for this beyond being forced to take the war gear, and it is one of the strongest legendary titans in AT. Yeah, exactly. And I've kept it with the artwork. Has a turbo laser and plasma blast gun, so I thought, yeah, you know, this is for primarily for Legions Imperialis as a support titan for my Emperor children. But I could use it as a support titan for another thing. I don't know. Hello, Rose. Hi, how are you? What are you working on this evening? Are you painting? Are you chilling? What's happening where you are? So, base colours on. Gonna get an old type brush. That's not the brush I'm looking for. And at least you have a legendary traitor titan if you make a start on playing Adeptus Titanicus. Yeah, well, it's the second traitor legendary titan that I actually own. So I also have Hammer of Tyrants. Because my choice for traitor Legio was Godbreakers. Because it's Godbreakers is the most metal name ever. I'm good, finally facing and painting the tyrannies that have been on my shelf for actual years. We've all been there. We have all been there. So sometimes, like when you've got that sort of grey plastic sitting in a corner of a room somewhere, just staring at you, it's nice to, you look back at it and go, I really should do something with that. And sometimes that time, from where you initially got them and thought, oh, I've got to do this style, this paint scheme. But over time, you sort of refine and you think of something different, and then you go, actually, I'm going to try this. And it turns out better. So sometimes waiting does make a big difference. I'm doing 2 Black Shield Legios, Lord of Valor and Hounds of Night. They sound badass. Ambitious. Yep. Well, as I say, with every little project that you undertake, like I know, like I've got friends that do like full backgrounds and stuff for their armies that they're doing, and it's really cool. It's nice that you have these little concepts to work with and to muck about with, because it just adds more flavour to the whole shebang. Basically, Loyalist Interfector and Loyalist Orderly. Yeah. Why not? Wow. So, are you doing any particular Tyrannid Swarm, Rose, or you're doing your own thing like Mr. Plastic Painted here? That's ba, 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 ba. Sneaking in Space Marine to rest. That's allowed. I don't mind you doing that. We'll have to arrange a game, son. Help with your recovery. Actually, had Brian messaged me earlier on going, I'm going on, I'm loading up, and I'm going, I'm cooking dinner, and then I'm prepping for my live stream. Oh, right, okay. I said, good hunting. It was, I was having a little game with him yesterday on my day off. And he's like playing tactical. I'm doing my heavy. Well, I started off with tactical, but most people play tactical, so I started doing heavy. I've got to start doing some work with, I think, Bulwark is the third one, because you've got to have at least 3 so you can alternate with people. So if you're playing with your friends, they can play their favoured classes, and you've got something else as a backup. And we've just come back from a mission, and it was a hell mission. We was actually trying on the higher difficulty, so because there's 4 levels of difficulty, and we were going in on the 3rd level, and this guy who was in there, this random guy who came in, he must have had some sort of cheat thing going on, because his health was not going down for the most part. And if it wasn't for that fact, we would have died loads of times, because there was no way that we could have got through that game as we are. We're not that, I'm handy, but you need to have some, you need to have the knowledge and the equipment. So going for those higher level ones when you're sort of because I think it's level 30 it goes up to. I'm currently on my heavy. I'm level 18. So if I was say level 24, 25 maybe, that 3rd tier probably wouldn't be too hard. But when you're going in at a lower level and a harder difficulty, it is going to be freaking hard. And as I said, if it weren't for this guy who was with us, we would have died several times over, which we did. And but as I said, he was up to something. But we won't talk about it, brother. No, we should shun what they did. We will ignore it and go, no. Don't know what you're talking about. Keep quiet. The Emperor be praised. So that's Time for a big old update. Yeah. Tray huge. Which is not a problem if you've got good internet connection. We're gonna travel. We've gone on a journey this evening, covering many different eventualities. So has anyone got anything planned for the weekend? Are you out to events? Are you playing games with friends? Are you planning to just chill and build or chill and paint? What we doing, people? Me? I'm working. Well, I think I'm going to call it there because my eyes are getting heavier and it's hard to focus. But yeah, so we have built and got the base coats onto these for Find Fellows. We will be back on Saturday from 8 PM as normal. But yeah, thank you all for coming and hanging out for a couple of hours, chilling with some painting thrown in between. As I got the big dreadnought drop pods and just a smaller one. Are actually different in sizes. So at least 50% bigger. Whew. So I do apologise for yawnies. Tired. But yes, I hope you have a wonderful rest of the week, whatever you're doing. I hope you have a wonderful weekend. Hopefully you'll be joining me on Saturday evening from 8 p.m. GMT, which is 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And yeah, just have a great time. Be chilled, be cool, enjoy whatever you have going on. And we'll see you at the weekend. So until then, adios and ciao, ciao. Peace.